The boys will be home for Christmas. That was the headlines which made in December 1903. And the story behind that, as we know, is about the Wright brothers. For the first time in humanity, man has flown off the ground. They've really made a milestone in history. And with all the excitement, they sent a telegraph to their sister Catherine. For the first time, we have flown off the ground. We will be home for Christmas. Catherine, with all excitement, takes the telegraph and goes to the nearby newspaper editor. He reads it, and in the front lines, in the headlines, was written, "The boys will be home for Christmas." You see, the editor missed the most important headline. Man has made his first flight. They have flown off the ground. That should have been the headline. For many of us, during this time of Advent, we can miss the most important headlines, that is Christ Himself, the person of Jesus Himself. We can get so caught up in all the busyness of preparing for Christmas, in the decorations and in the sales and buying gifts and in the fun and the frolic and the fellowship and the family and everything else, but miss Christ Himself. Even as we approach the third week of Advent, Advent is nothing else but preparing for the coming of Jesus. For most of my life, I've thought Advent is about preparing for Christmas, the birth of Christ. But the church teaches us we also prepare for the second coming of Christ. You see, Jesus here on earth had no place in the inn for His birthplace. We need to ask ourselves, friends, are we preparing the inn of our hearts for Jesus this Christmas? Or are we going to be so busy that at the end of Christmas, when we look back, we may seem tired? If someone may ask you, how was Christmas? Oh, it was so tiring. I was so busy. You see, we can really miss the joy, the peace, and the love of Christ that we are supposed to encounter during Christmas. Friends, I want to encourage you, even as we are in the third week and we're just on the curve of celebrating Christmas, may we spend this moment in purposeful waiting for Christ, being intentional of praying together, not as individuals, but also as a family. Prepare the inn of our hearts for the coming of Jesus, the second coming of the Lord in our hearts, that we may experience His true love and joy and peace this Christmas.